Hello students, I'm your chemistry teacher by the name Zabas Mdungi Mohammed. Once again we meet in chemistry lesson. And today we are going to teach from one topic. I will not tell you, but it is you going to tell me what topic is it. First, I want you to show something. I have got this surprise. I want you to see it and look it very closely. Look at this picture. Can you identify what is in the picture? Can you identify what do you see in the picture? Yes. How about this one? How about the second one? Very good. Can you try? Yes, very good. The picture show it look like a hospital, but not hospital. Maybe one among the room of hospital. Maybe it is laboratory, because even in hospital there are laboratories whereby different diseases are. There is analysis of diseases and there are investigation of different diseases. So, today's lesson is about laboratory. But not only laboratory, but today we learn about laboratory techniques and safety. Our today's lesson will be about laboratory techniques and safety. And our objective today is, we have about two objectives. So they are, the first objective, at the end of the lesson, this lesson, students, means you, should be able to A, explain the meaning of laboratory. B, state laboratory rules. A, explain the meaning of laboratory. B, state laboratory rules. Here in the world, if you are going to ask yourself, what do we mean? There is any importance of having rules? Even in religion beliefs, even at home, in the family, there are rules. And these are very important things to be followed. In laboratory, if you look at this picture very well, you may see, obviously, there are importance of the rule. And rules are procedure to follow or not follow. Because if required to follow something, maybe you have been told to do something, you have to do it. If you don't, it means that you don't follow that rule. Is quite different with the rule in lawyer as we always are, because we have a lot of rules, including maybe we have lawyers in our different places. When you follow that rule or not follow that rule. From this picture, as you see, there are two. They seem like they are students. So what they are doing is someone look like holding something. That is a boy, and she is a girl. They both hold something. Someone look like writing something, and someone look like doing something. But there are also, it shows that we have some equipment which are connected to electricity, but this one is not used. There are also some apparatus falling down, whereby the one which is inside is spoiled there. So it means that there are a lot or more than one activity. While they are taking or carrying out experiment, at the same time, there are something goes wrong. Meaning that if they are in laboratory, so the laboratory is not well managed. And that is why we need to have rules. First of all, if somebody asked you to give the meaning of laboratory, could you do it? What is a laboratory? Laboratory is a room or building designed and equipped for carrying out experiments, research, and even teaching sometimes. Laboratory is a room, and which is a special room or building designed and equipped to carry out experiments, researches, and also for teaching. So, if we have some laboratory at school or in our schools, let's see how many of them. As we know that sciences contains or the subjects that taught in science, they are chemistry, biology, let's say, and physics. So the laboratory also in school have to be biology laboratory, chemistry laboratory, physics laboratory. But sometimes even computer need laboratory. So we have about 4 or more. Physics laboratory, we have chemistry lab, and we have also biology lab, we have computer lab, and so on. Since, as we said, that building design and equipped for carrying out experiment, there are different kind of experiment. Now, we have some important features whereby laboratory should design into. And these features, now we are concentrating or focusing on chemistry laboratory. So laboratory features, but chemistry laboratory features. We specify on chemistry laboratory features. Which are features? First of all, laboratory is different from classroom or library. You may find tables, chairs, or stools even in classroom or in library. But laboratory should have the following. First, in chemistry laboratory, we should have a water supply. We should have a gas supply. And we also should have drainage system. We should have a drainage system whereby wasted water can flow to the sewage system. Also, laboratory should have two entries, one of which is called emergency. Including emergency. And this entry or doors should open outward. That is very important issue. In case of accident, it becomes so easy for anyone inside the laboratory to escape. They should open outwards. Also in laboratory, should have safety equipments. This safety equipment, for example, we have first aid kit. We have fire extinguisher. And others. So these are among the laboratory or chemistry laboratory features whereby laboratory should have. Okay, now there are very important things to discuss in laboratory rules. Let's have that kind of activity. Here, we have that picture. This picture, this shows hand with that thumb. It tells do. It is something that you are required to do. But here, don't do. So we call this activity do and not to do. We said you have to do or not to do simply because of laboratory safety and safety of yourself. When laboratory rule followed, so they ensure if rules followed ensure the safety of lives and properties. So we have to be sure our safety after doing experiments. Also, our property, for example, apparatus. Some of them made by glasses, some of them made by plastics. So we make sure that we are going to use them again, so we have to make sure they are safety. So in laboratory safety, we have things that we have to do, and we have other things that we don't have to do. We have got this picture. This picture shows students which are in laboratory. And there are some of the statements that we can call them rules. If you look at them well, important lab safety rules. Important lab safety rules. We have one among the statements says, don't experiment on yourself. It means that if you want to carry out experiment, make sure that you have been informed either by a teacher or lab technician. Don't be confused, because sometimes teacher could be also lab technician, because lab technician is the one who keep those laboratory equipment, make sure that it design experiment. Also lab technician make sure that if there is some repair needed, they should have. So we have okay, there is a dustbin there, so we have to dispose those waste in this and not just to put everywhere. We have another statement say, don't just do crazy, or don't play made experiment. So made experiment means sometimes maybe you know that if I mix this solution and this solution, it will explode. Maybe you know that, but you are not required to do that. Maybe that's not the purpose of entering the laboratory to do such kind of experiment. So don't do made experiment. Also we have don't eat or drink, don't taste or sniff the chemicals. So it means that there are a lot of things that tells you to do. Also there are something which tells not to do. Okay, I think we have already know that there are some and a lot of rules in laboratory. Now let's have that kind of activity, and you are going to do on your own. The activity is seen in this picture. This picture or diagram contains a lot of activity going on in a place that we know is laboratory. Try to think. Do you think is it look like a laboratory? Because you may see some of them get washing, some of them they just running, some of them sleeping, and so forth. So it means that there are a lot of activity carried out which is not should be done in laboratory. So meaning that they are not seem to follow the laboratory rule, as it is written, improper use of chemistry, improper use of chemistry laboratory, but this one is your task. What not to do in the chemistry lab. So now I think it's a time for you to prepare your own rules. Let's start with the first rule. Before entering laboratory rule, make sure that, as you know, as you see, I have that kind of coat, which is white in color. This is called labor coat. But sometimes you can even wear an apron. So make sure that make sure you wear properly. If we say we wear properly, it means that first of all we have labor coat. We have also goggle. It does seem that the thing that we wear to protect our eyes from dangerous fumes and some of chemical that may be splashed back. Another thing which is very important, make sure that you follow information. Follow information given either by your teacher or laboratory assistant. What do you think as a rule? What should be maybe doing labda maybe after experiment? Keep everything clean. Equipment or laboratory environment clean. Also, don't do an experiment or anything without permission or being informed. So we have a lot of laboratory rules that we can make. Make sure that they are very important for safety of our own and our laboratory equipment. Let's have, I think our today's lesson is completed, and I think you are going to meet on other session. Remember, today we learn about laboratory technique and safety, and our objective was at the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning of laboratory, which is also we have already discussed, and then we have to state laboratory rules. Your homework today, try to prepare 5 laboratory rules. Prepare and write, design and write 5 laboratory laboratory rules. So from now on, I think we shall meet on another session or chemistry session. Thank you for participating. Bye-bye.